Hello everybody, it's Ocelot, and welcome to the conclusion to our Marais Executioner base new game full game guide. Part 1, we finished off killing Morgoth in the capital. We spoke with Malenia. Next we're ready to head into the Mountaintops of the Giants. So to get here to the lift, we're going to warp to the Avenue Balcony side of Grace and run through the capital. Go up the lift. This will take us to the Mountaintops. So I'll put some marks on the map. Here's the side of Grace. Here, there's going to be an Haligtree avatar that we're going to kill for the runes. And here is Castle Sol. We'll be going after Commander Niall. Around here is another side of Grace. Now, in the last part, I forgot to equip my 4th talisman, the Strength Talisman. So this is our talisman loadout for now, until we get the Shard of Alexander. Let's go ahead and head east from the side of Grace. We're going to fight Borealis. With Borealis, you want to watch out for the Scream, as it does damage and does frostbite buildup. Watch out for the tail swipe. Watch out for the lunging attacks. What I try to do is I try to stay far away and bait out the breath attack. When Borealis does the breath attack, then you can get behind her and attack the foot. So with Borealis down, let's go after the Haligtree avatar. Let's stop at the side of Grace first though. We're going to level up. Let's put 3 points into strength. And next, let's head after the Haligtree avatar. Here's the location on the map. This one spawns a second avatar. So if you don't deplete the health before it spawns in, just be careful because you might have to fight 2 of them. Just watch out for the stomp attacks, the attacks with the staff, and the jump attacks, and you should be alright. Let's go ahead and warp to the Snow Valley Ruins side of Grace. We're going to level up. We're going to put 2 points into strength, and we're going to head northwest into Castle Sol. We're going after Commander Niall. With Commander Niall, he's going to have 2 spectral banished knights. I usually go for the one on the right, the one dual wielding the great swords. Then go after the one with the shield. And lastly, go after the commander. With Commander Niall, you want to watch out for his area of effect attacks that he does with his halberd. Also, he does jumping attacks that do lightning damage. He also does a lightning stomp. He also will do a windup and a charge. If he does that, that's when you want to unleash a fully charged Ash of War 2, if possible. So down goes Commander Niall. Now let's go ahead and head north and up the lift. We're going to grab the other half to the Haligtree secret medallion. To get the first half, we need to go back to Liurnia, to the Albinarch village. It's going to be around this area. I'll put this mark as reference, but this is around where it is. Let's level up first though. Let's put 3 points into strength, and then head to the Albinarch village. Here it is again on the map. You're going to talk to old Albus and convince him to give you the first half of the secret Haligtree medallion. We now have access to the Consecrated Snowfields, so let's head back to the Grand Lift of Rold. When you stand on the lift, you want to choose Hoist Secret Medallion. Now that we're in the Consecrated Snowfields, we're going to go to this mark for a site of grace. Around this mark will be the map. Around this mark will be a putrid avatar. So let's head to the site of grace first. Here it is again on the map. Next, head north and pick up the map fragment. So if we open up the map, I was a little bit off on where the putrid avatar is. It's going to be near this drawing of the tree. On this mark is going to be Ordina. We're going to want to pick up that grace for later. Once you pick up the grace for Ordina, head east to the putrid avatar. The difference with this variant of the avatar is that it does Scarlet Rot attack when it does its jump attack. It will damage you and cause Scarlet Rot buildup, which if your meter fills up, will do damage over time. So down goes the avatar. Make sure to switch to the gold scarab. This will give us another tier for our physic, the Thorny Crack tier. This will stack with the Wing Sword insignia, and when we get it, the Rotten Wing Sword insignia. On this mark here, we're going to be going after Theodorix. So let's go ahead and warp to the site of grace. Put 3 points into dexterity. Let's put the Thorny tier into our physic. We're going to swap out the strength tier for the Thorny tier, and we'll have the faith tier along with it. Until we get 33 faith, we'll be using the faith tier and the Thorny tier for now. So let's go ahead and go to Theodorix. You can recruit the surrounding octopus to help you out in the fight. There's also a crab that you might be able to round up. Aggro Theodorix and bring him to the octopus. And try to get your attacks in while he's occupied with the octopus. So when his health gets low, I recommend using a gold pick foulfoot if you have any, or if you can craft them. Switch to the golden scarab also, and this will give you a vast room boost. Let's go to the inner Consecrated Snowfields side of Grace. Let's level up. We'll put 4 points into Vigor. For now, let's head to the Fire Giant. So on the first mark will be the side of Grace. On the second mark will be a Sacred Tier. After we pick up these 2 places, we're going to go after the Fire Giant. So with the Fire Giant, you want to hang around his left foot. Eventually his anklet will break. This will give you a moment to get a fully charged Ash of Warren. He's going to roll around and possibly do flame ball attacks. You could also swing his shield around or slam it down, slam his foot down. Just be ready to roll those attacks. He's close to phase 2, and we'll send him there on this next attack. At the beginning of phase 2, if you have a chance to put on Haligtree, put it on. And I usually go for his right hand. Get a fully charged Ash of War if you have the full FP. If you don't have full FP, just get an uncharged Ash of War on him. If he conjures flame balls, you can ride under them with Torrent. It'll be easier to get away from them when they explode. When he does his eruption attack, I run away, put on buffs, make sure my FP is full. After this attack, just stay in front of him. You want to bait his slam down attack. He'll do a slam down with his right hand and then slam both hands down. So when he rolls, just try to stay in front of him and near him. This slam down attack is punishable as well. Just don't miss it like I did. So since he's about to go down, get ready to either consume a Gold Pickle Foulfoot and or switch to the Gold Scarab. And down goes Fire Giant. So let's go ahead and level up. We're going to put 3 points into Strength. We're going to talk to Malenia and let her know that we're ready. She's going to give herself up to the Forge.
Very well.
And we're going to be sent to Crumbling Faramazula. So run through, and on the main path, right here, you're going to find the Ancient Dragon's Prayer Book. This is going to give you access to Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike, which we are going to use for one boss later on. Now, we're at the Godskin Duo. Make sure to craft your sleep pots and equip them. If you have a gold pickle foulfoot, equip that as well. You can also switch to the gold scarab at the end of the fight. You have Recusant Bernal here if you need the help. Walk in, put the duo to sleep, and then put your buffs on. When you put on Haligtree, make sure you're not near them so you don't wake them up. Down goes the duo. Switch to the gold scarab. Rest at the site of grace. We're going to be putting 4 points into strength. Next, we're going to start 2 side quests. Alexander's quest and Millicent's quest. Here is Millicent's quest. We're going to fight Commander O'Neill on this mark. Then we're going to go east and talk to Gowry on this mark. And on the third mark, or the third spot, we'll be talking to Millicent. Then we'll need to go to the Erdtree Gazing Hill site of Grace and talk to her there. For Alexander's quest, we need to talk to him in Radagon's arena and then go to this mark in Mount Gelmir. And again, another mark for Millicent's quest will be right here at the Windmill Village. So let's start with Alexander's. Let's go to Radagon's arena. Talk to Alexander and exhaust his dialogue.
Hey.
Next, go to the Inner Aeonia site of Grace. We're going to go after Commander O'Neill. If you aren't able to take him out rapidly, he's going to conjure up some spectral exiles. But you should be able to take him out quite easily. We're going to take the needle that he drops to Sage Gowry. That's going to be the second mark we made. We're going to head east to Gowry's shack. So you're going to give the needle to Gowry. He's going to ask you to come back. You can warp to another Grace and run back, or you can just quit out and load back in, which is what I usually do. He'll give you the unalloyed gold needle. Warp to the Church of the Plague. Give it to Millicent. Rest at the site of Grace. Talk to her and exhaust her dialogue. Rest at the Grace and then head to Gowry's shack. Or you can warp to the Inner Aeonia site of Grace and run east from there. Millicent will be here. You're going to talk to her and exhaust her dialogue. Next, we're going to warp to the Erdtree Gazing Hill site of Grace. We're going to talk to her there, and then we're going to run into Mount Gelmir to talk to Alexander. Here in Mount Gelmir, you can get the Fire Scorpion charm, which is optional, but it is on the way. Here it is at Fort Lade and the mark. Whether you get it or not, go to the mark we made for Alexander. talk to Alexander and exhaust his dialogue. After you exhaust his dialogue, we're going to head back to Crumbling Faramazula. So back to the Dragon Temple Altar Grace, where we fought the duo. On the way, there's a large rune. I'm going to show you where it is on the map. Here's the location. Now next, head to the lift. It's behind a stone sword key, so make sure you have 2 stone sword keys. Once you head up the lift, head straight to Alexander. You're going to talk to him. He's going to ask to spar. Once you're done sparring, he's going to leave you a gift. He's going to leave you the Shard of Alexander. This is going to boost our weapon art by 15% when equipped. So let's go ahead and equip it. We're going to swap out the Star Scourge Heirloom for the Shard of Alexander. And eventually, we'll swap out the Winged Sword Insignia for the Rotten Winged Sword Insignia. So let's continue Millicent's quest. Here we are at the Windmill Village. You're going to fight this Godskin Apostle. Standard sleep strategy. So take out the Apostle. Rest at the site of grace. Millicent will then be here. Exhaust her dialogue. Once you exhaust your dialogue, warp to the ancient Snow Valley Ruins site of grace, and we'll find Millicent there. We're going to exhaust her dialogue here. Then, we're going to warp to the Ordina Grace that we picked up earlier. We enter the Everjail, and there's going to be 4 candles that you need to light up. Once you light up the 4 candles, there's going to be a teleporter that opens up to the north side of Ordina. Go ahead and head through the teleporter. This will take you to the Haligtree. So go ahead and grab this site of grace. Run through and all the way to the next boss fog. We're going to be fighting Loretta, Knight of the Haligtree. So with Loretta, you want to watch out when she conjures up the swords, as they will track you and possibly hit you if you don't dodge. Want to watch out for her attacks with her halberd. She also has a single beam that she'll shoot in phase 1. If she makes it to phase 2, the single beam will be a multiple beam. Down goes Loretta. Let's go ahead and level up. We're going to put 3 points into Vigor. Let's continue through. Down the lift. And on this mark on the map, we're going to find Millicent. She's going to be in the prayer room. Exhaust her dialogue. And continue on through. We're going to follow this general path. We're going to the drainage channel site of grace. So once you get the grace, there is one thing we need to do, so let's double back to Liurnia. Here, we're going to visit Muriel at the Church of Vows. We're going to turn in the Ancient Dragon's Prayer Book that we just picked up in Crumbling Faramazula. Once you turn it in, you have access to lightning spells. We're interested in Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. Once you purchase it, go ahead and equip it. With the Faith tier active, you will be able to cast it. One more thing before we continue Millicent's quest. Let's go to EG. We're going to fully upgrade our Dragon Communion Seal to +10. Now, we're ready to fight the Putrid Avatar that's on this mark. Well, it's near that mark, but we need to access it through the drainage channel. And here's the exact location. So go ahead and put on your buffs, walk into the rot, and then walk out. My strategy is going to be to go up on top of this ledge and just spam a fully charged Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. Be careful with its rolling attacks and with its explosions attacks, as it can still get you even if you're on that ledge. Now somehow I got a stance break, so I went for the critical, although you could have also gone for a fully charged Ash of War. So down goes the Putrid Ulcerated Spirit. This will open up the ending to Millicent's quest. Make sure you are summoned to assist Millicent, and you're going to help her fight her 4 sisters. So down goes Millicent's sisters, and your reward is going to be a talisman, the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia. We're going to replace the Wing Sword Insignia for the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, and in New Game Plus, we'll be replacing the Ritual Sword Talisman with Millicent's prosthesis. Let's go back to Crumbling. We're going to the Dragon Temple Lift site of Grace. We're going to stop at the next Grace and put 1 point into Strength. Also, if you want to equip Frenzied Burst, it'll vastly help you out over this next section against the birds. But once you get past the first part of the birds, you're going to get to this dragon. I usually take it down because it's basically 3 rooms. You can take it down with 1 fully charged Ash of War. It also drops an Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone. So head through. At the next Grace, level up, put 1 point into Strength. Then we're going to fight the Draconic Tree Sentinel. Get a fully charged Ash of War at the beginning, and then another uncharged Ash of War afterwards. Now since I took him down rather quickly, I went ahead and went straight to Maliketh. If you'd rather go back and rest at the site of Grace so you can refill your physic, you can do so. Either way, our next main boss is going to be Maliketh. So you want to watch out for his jab attack and then his swipes. I usually just roll side to side and wait for him to do his slam down attack, where you can do a fully charged Eocade's Dancing Blade. This will actually send him to phase 2. Phase 2, step back. After the swipe, step in. Fully charged Eocade's Dancing Blade will almost take him down. Just stay near him and bait his swipe attacks. Down goes Maliketh. Switch to the Gold Scarab as you have plenty of time. Next up is Lane Dell, Ashen Capital. So once you're transported, go ahead and grab the Site of Grace. And let's level up. We're going to put 5 points into Strength. And our next boss is going to be Gideon. So put on your Physic and Golden Bow at the door. When you get about a third of the way in, put on Haligtree. Refill your FP. I usually like to get behind him, and I don't start attacking until he says the word Lord. Get a fully charged Ash of War, and just watch the massacre. So let's continue on through. Let's go ahead and level up. We'll put 2 points into strength. Next boss is going to be Godfrey and / Horah Loux. For the Godfrey phase, phase 1, you want to watch out for his slam down of the axe if he has a chance to do it. This will create a crater that does an area explosion. In his phase 2, phase 1, he will do stomp attacks that do area damage no matter where you're standing. So the next attack that we do, sending him to phase 2, step away from him for phase 2 so you don't get grabbed. I should have went for a fully charged Ash of War instead of refilling my FP, so you'll have a chance to do that. Right here, you can also get an Ash of War in. Instead, I get hit. Either way, down goes Horah Loux. Switch to the Gold Scarab. Rest at the site of Grace. We're going to level up. We're putting 3 points into Arcane. And our next boss is going to be Radagon and Elden Beast. For Radagon, at the beginning, get a fully charged Ash of War. And watch for his jump attack. After his jump attack, you can get another Ash of War in. And then just watch for the slams. So take this time to put on Haligtree, fill up your FP and HP if you can. If not, fill up whatever you weren't able to at the beginning of the Elden Beast phase. Run straight at him, get a fully charged Ash of War, then go to the side and get another fully charged Ash of War. And watch the health go down. Down goes Elden Beast. Switch to the Gold Scarab. And you did it. You just beat Elden Ring. There's a few more Shard Bears we're going to beat though first. So let's go ahead and level up. We're going to put 6 points into Arcane. We're going after Placidusax. Let's go to the beside the Great Bridge site of Grace. Run down to his arena. Rest so we're warped to it. Now for Placidusax, you want to drink your Physic, and then right about here you want to put on Golden Vow. I don't put on Haligtree until after the first round of Red Lightning. This is mainly because it's our shortest lasting buff at 40-second duration. After the second round of Red Lightning is when I'll refill my FP, and then after the third round is when I get an attack in. So after this swipe, he's going to follow up with the left-hand swipe attack. Just roll through it and run behind him to his tail. Once you're about here, get a fully charged Ash of Warren. You should be able to get in at least 2. This is going to cause him to teleport because he passed the HP threshold. Run towards the nearest wall. Look up into the sky in the middle of the arena. Roll from this attack. And watch for him to be teleporting. As long as you're locked into him, you'll know exactly where he's at all times. Every time he teleports, just keep on running towards the nearest wall. Down goes Placidusax. Don't forget to switch to the gold scarab. Let's go ahead and level up. We're going to put 3 points into Arcane. The next boss is going to be Mohg. So we're going after the optional Purifying Blood tier. It's going to be here in Altus Plateau at this church. You're going to get invaded by Eleonora. There's also a sacred tier here for our flask upgrade. Down goes Eleonora, and you get the Purifying Crystal tier. You can mix this in the Physic if you're having trouble with Mohg. You can mix it in with the Faith tier. So you're going to take out the Thorny tier if you're going to use it, and leave in the Faith tier and the Purifying tier. But as you can see, as long as you dodge his attacks and wait for an opening, stick to his left side with this weapon since you have to stand still as you're using the Ash of War. You should be able to take him down before phase 1 ends, before Nihil. Down goes Mohg. Don't forget to switch to the gold scarab. We're going to level up. We're going to put 4 points into Vigor. And we only got one more shard bearer left we're going after. Malenia. So head to the drainage channel side of Grace and continue on through. Right here, above Malenia's lift, there's going to be a chest down this hole. In the chest is going to be a recommended talisman. I don't use it, but since we're going to New Game Plus, I recommend you take it. Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman. For Malenia, go ahead and put all your buffs on outside of the fog door. On the first try, she's going to do 2 swipes at you. So what I do is walk forward and then roll twice and get an uncharged Ash of Warren and one more. The water fell, run away, and on the third round I roll through it and then get another Ash of Warren. So this next attack is going to send her to phase 2. What I do is I unlock the camera, run straight at her, then turn right when I'm below her. refill my FP, put on Haligtree, run in and get a fully charged Ash of Warren. Now I know that the next attack is going to kill her, so I get a little excited here and went in before the onion was completely over. If you wait a split second, you won't take any damage. I hadn't beat her first try in a while, so I was just eager to get her done and over with. But down goes Malenia. Let's go ahead and level up. We're going to put 5 points into Faith, and that's it. You beat Elden Ring and its hardest bosses. So if you made it this far, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. There's also a link to the Discord if you'd like to join. Also, starting next week, which is going to be May 28th, 2024, I'm going to consistently start streaming. So hopefully you can catch me live while I'm doing these runs or co-op runs or viewer requests. I appreciate all the views, the support, the comments, the criticism, all of it. That's it for this one. See you on the next one. Bye.